Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Great. First of all, let me welcome you to Hyperspace. If you outside and you want to come in so that we can all start, the reason is that we already have a lot of people online who are also attending this program. You're free to bring in your snacks as well, and whilst we started, you can have it. Once again, I want to welcome you to Hyperspace. As you already know about this program, it's something that's taking place not just here in Ghana, but we have other people from different African countries who are also joining us online, as well as other people in hubs, in other hubs here in Ghana as well, who are joining from different parts of the country. I quickly want to take you through a few housekeeping. If you need any assistance, please contact anyone in this kind of t-shirt that has Hyperspace on them, two colors, those in ash and also those in the light greenish color as well. If you have any need for assistance, feel free to contact anybody in those t-shirts, and they'll be able to provide you with the assistance that you need. The washrooms are on this side. As soon as you get out, just turn onto your right, and then on your immediate left, you'll find the washrooms. You don't need to ask permission when going to the restrooms. Feel free to just get up and go. There are also washrooms downstairs. If the up ones are occupied, you can go downstairs, ask anyone downstairs, and they will direct you to the washrooms that are there. In the unexpected and uninvited event of a fire, there are two exits. You can pass here, but it's long to get out, or you can take this gate to get out. You will come and meet me downstairs. Yeah. Oh, not that I'm running ahead of you. I will just be there to ensure that everything is safe. You have a place to stand, But how I'll arrive there before you, be surprised. Yeah. And if you do hear anything like that fire, please you can leave the rest of your things and save your life first. So those are also key. Let me quickly run you through what we expect from today. So basically, the program is like this. We'll be here up to around 2:30-ish. But before we close in the morning, we're expecting to have a brief about what Hyperspace, where you are, is about. We have our colleagues from the NEIP, the National Innovation Entrepreneurship Program. They are here. They will also telling us one of our key partners. Also, another key partner is GIZ, especially the Digital Transformation Center that's based here in Kumasi as well. Then we'll have an introduction about what this whole program, the AfriconEU, is about from one of the implementing partners based in Tanzania. Then the key part of the program is the workshop, which will talk about strategy and strategic resources. And that will be handled by one of our key facilitators from the Center for Innovation, Center for Social Innovation, Mr. Yao Edujemfi. We'll also have a panel discussion, but in between that is one very important item at 1 o'clock, which is lunch. So yes, that one is a key important item as well. Without spending much time, I would like our host, which is Hyperspace, to give us a brief about what they do, and that will be done by the hub manager, Mr. Douglas Israel Boatin. So if he's here, Douglas, please, a few minutes to talk about what Hyperspace is and what Hyperspace is done. So give me a little bit of applause, a very little one like this. Little one. Okay, if this is the little, I wait to see how your big one will be like. Okay, Douglas, please welcome.
Thank you, Albert. And as he mentioned, my name is Douglas Izobuatin. Hub Manager for Hyperspace, and I welcome you all to Hyperspace. And basically, Hyperspace is an innovation hub that actually stemmed out of our mother company called Hyperweb, which is purely IT. And so we realized that people who are into tech or tech savvy were using the space, Hyperweb space. So I'm going to Hyperweb, their space, Hyperweb, their space. And then the founders were like, why don't we start a co-working? So then it creates a community for tech enthusiasts for us to be able to develop that. Again, we are in Kumasi where it's more like an entrepreneurship hub in Ghana. So then why don't we create the community and then link the two, the business parts, those with the technical skills, and then those with the business ideas. So then they can develop solutions for them. So basically it started with a co-working space and then a community. And so one of our key strengths is community building. We have the Kumasi entrepreneur community, we have the Kumasi tech community, we have the Kumasi arts community also. And put together, we have over 2,000 startups that are in the community. And so we evolved from there, going into capacity building trainings, incubation, and acceleration programs. But we have a core thing that we believe that it's key, digitalization. We believe that as businesses, there's the need to leverage on digital tools to make it faster, easier, and better. So yes, you are doing your fashion, you are into your hairdressing, you are into bead making and all of that. But how can you integrate technology into whatever you are doing? And I believe that was why we had interest in the AfriconEU project to partner to ensure that we take advantage of digital tools to help with our operation. Thank you very much, and you're welcome.
Thank you, Douglas. Thank you. And on this note, I'd like to acknowledge one person who really helped in starting Hyperspace, which is Mr. Samuel Abwaje, who is here. I don't think Hyperspace will have existed without Samuel's key contribution. Right from the beginning, he was one of the key players in starting Hyperspace, running up and down a doom to get Hyperspace started. So we thank you. And I think from that, the community that Douglas talked about has grown. You know, since there was only one hub when we started here, and currently Kumasi has more than about 10 or so hubs. And this is actually building the ecosystem in the country. Talking about the ecosystem and building startups, I can say one of the biggest programs that has transformed a lot of startups in this country is the NEIP program. And therefore, we are honored today to have one of its directors in the person of Mr. Franklin Kakari to give us some information and brief us on how the NEIP program really is transforming startups in the region. Mr. Kakari, you are welcome. So with a round of applause, let's welcome him.
Thank you very much, Gideon, and a lot of familiar faces here. Kumasi indeed, I've been calling Gideon so many times. Okay, Albert, good to see you again. And my brother DJ Mfi, the Swami Magazine, and I've been reading all the stuff about Swami Magazine and all the team here. It's good to be back home. And also, I remember very well, I also got opportunity at the early stage of Hyperspace to provide some training there for some of the entrepreneurs. And I'm always happy when I see it growing and also a lot of people are coming into the ecosystem. One of the things we've been fighting for is deregulating the ecosystem to the private sector, for government to only be a supporter of the ecosystem to ensure that they are receiving feedback from the ecosystem to improve and create the enabling space for the ecosystem to function on its own. But you know, government is a bigger player. You cannot take him out of the ecosystem. Because for us all to be able to put our hands on deck to build it together. So we've been working seriously behind the scene, and I think NEIP has done quite some job to be able to ensure that pushing for government to give a lot of jobs and resources, and also talking to a lot of development partners to always use the incubation hubs and also the Ghana Hub Network for their activities. Those are some of the things we do behind the scene, even without the knowledge of the players in the ecosystem. And this year alone, I've engaged over 15 development partners, and I have shared documents about the ecosystem, about the hub network, about all the players. On my desk, I have a list of over 152 incubation hubs across Ghana. Those at the infantile stage, and we have 40 public and private universities that have also signed up that they're also ready to turn their system around to support the ecosystem. 40 private and public universities. So a lot goes on behind the scene. Currently, as I'm talking to you, there's a World Bank fund that we've been fighting for since 2018, 2019. Now, fortunately, everything is set. We finished with the strategic plan for NEIP. And the next one is to do what we call benchmarking in the ecosystem. When a young person leaves school and the person has an idea and he wants to know where to go to get the idea start working, the person should move to a standardized incubator, accelerator, or any of our partners and get a well-standardized culture that is there for the person to go through his or her entrepreneurship journey. So we want to ensure that we can be able to benchmark, standardize, and harness the ecosystem so that everybody will it will become like pure water business. Bandwagon. Everybody said, I'm opening a hub or something, but there will be key things that will guide the processes. And this will not be done by government. It will be done by the World Bank with the hub network and the players in the ecosystem for us all to determine that if this is an IT co-working space or an incubation hub, an accelerator, whatever, what are the criteria they need to meet in the ecosystem to call themselves that we are a hub, we are an accelerator, we are an incubator, we are an academic institution that operates on these lines. These are some of the things we are working. The World Bank is putting a lot of resources to do this work. And when they are done, a number of the hubs, especially the well-established ones, will be used as a benchmark, a yardstick for the rest to also learn from. We need to be able to work together as a team. If I am Hyperspace and I get a big project, nothing stops me to bring if the project is big, for me to bring all the other hubs in Kumasi. Jack, let's think around it. How do we solve? We shouldn't be competing among ourselves in the space, but we should be complementing each other to grow the ecosystem. That is how we can see ourselves growing. That's how we can see businesses also growing and coming in. We also hoping a time will come, incubation hubs and businesses will be able to take equity in businesses they incubate and properly handle. So if you go to CSI, if I go to CSI and let's say you have 50 early stage businesses, CSI should have the time to look, I'm grooming you guys, and these are the things I'm offering for you. And I'm taking 5% in your business as an equity. So CSI can become sustainable. So that you know that in the long haul, I have 50 businesses I have mentored, I have groomed, and I'm taking onto the global marketplace. And out of these 50, I have 5% in each operations and activities. One of the ways to be sustainable is also ensure that we have a stake in the businesses that we are nurturing. And this is one of the ways to go. Ghanaian businesses have not brought themselves to that level, but we need to help them to be able to understand. And I'll put that as a challenge. As part of your deliberations for I don't know how many days you'll be doing this, but you can discuss around how do we make it attractive for businesses to come into our space and be ready also for us to take equity, to take a stake in their businesses. How could it be done? How can we do? Other countries have done it. It's been successful. We can also do the same. And now we have been able to put all the over 152, we have categorized them. Those that are well mature that we are working with. Some of them, it will take a year or two for us to start working with them. We are preparing them. But we have grouped all of them so that different projects that we have and your capability, it comes to say, okay, for this period, let's give to this 50. The next program, let's give to this. So there will be programs you see that your friend you have not have, so that we can be able to ensure that everybody is getting some form of support to grow their businesses. Now we have a bigger project coming up, 27th of June. The president will launch it, what we call the U Start, and we need all hands on deck for us to make it successful. It's a big project, very audacious, and this is not one of the business as usuals. MBU, no business as usual. This is not one of those. It's taken us a year and a half to work through this one. And we've worked through with 15 banks in Ghana. We've worked through with AFDB, World Bank. We've worked through with all the 261 district and municipal assemblies. We've been around, we've met development partners. Now the last engagement we'll be doing is with the ecosystem players, which will be happening soon. Because we know you have understanding of the ecosystem already. So you'll be the last group, but we have already engaged some of you on how this project will go. And this is a very massive project to support a number of businesses that will create 1 million jobs. That's the minimum. A minimum of 1 million jobs. And this is not a private government employing people, no. Government want the employment to come from the private sector. Those of us who are entrepreneurs. Even if you're an accelerator or incubator, you are also a business. Government wants you people to employ. When we did the analysis, and as I said, we work with Ghana Statistical Service on this project as well. We have professionally about 2.2 million people who are looking for a job and do not have jobs in the country. There are some who are underemployed, but they were not part. But those who are ready for a job, but they do not have jobs, about 2.2 million. And these are the people who want to absorb within the next, by 2025. To absorb them will come from us. We are not letting the 2.2 million to become entrepreneurs. We want the entrepreneurs who are already in existence to be able to absorb those who are not ready to do anything on their own. They themselves cannot open businesses. But those who can open business, they can become entrepreneurs. But so we realize that if we even support 400,000 businesses, and each is employing 5 people within 3 years, 4 years, that is 2 million jobs already created. And we've done the calculation over and over. We have experimented it within the 1.5 year, and we have seen that this is one of the best ways to get rid of the and mop up the excess unemployed young people within the system. And together, government said we have to be able to do this. So all the banks in Ghana have committed 5 billion cedis to this project. FMB alone is giving 1 billion out of the 5. The rest of the banks together are giving 5 billion. The World Bank and AFDB are giving us 2 billion cedis. The government of Ghana is bringing on board 3 billion, making a total of 10 billion for this project to support between 300,000 to 400,000 businesses. If you're already an existing business that is doing proper bookkeeping system, and you have been in operation for 3 years and above, you qualify from 100,000. This time around, it's not any IP or GA who is giving you the money. You qualify for it through the bank. So the bank, you go there and put your wealth. That look, my business is running. These are my books, and I can show you my traction that I've built in the last 3 years. You have been in existence for at least 3 years if you want to qualify for the 300,000 to 500,000 cedis. You show the traction, and those that have the bigger opportunity are those from 18 to 40 years. But the opportunity is also there for those of us who are 40 years plus, but are employing more young people. Most of your workers are between 18 to 40 yourself. If you also have that kind of workers, you also qualify, because we are creating the jobs for the young people. So you show your books, you show your product or your service you are rendering and all that. The banks, you go through the KYC system, you go through a training. We are working with the Ghana Banking College in addition to the incubation hubs. So far, with the incubation hub that we have listed everywhere, we have submitted the names to the USTAT Secretariat that has been created. And almost every hub that we have worked with before, we submitted their names. And they go through the process, you train the people, we look at your business. There will be continual business. There will be continual business for the program as well. So when you come in, we are not going to let you go like that. There will be continuity for you to ensure that you are meeting the milestones that we give to you, to ensure that you are creating jobs. We don't want you to go and pick only your family members and say you have created jobs. And this time around, because we are giving from 100,000 to 500,000, we'll really boost businesses. So with that, we want companies to pay proper salaries, lay proper structures. So as part of the milestones between the 3 to 5 years, your workers should be on SNETs. You should be paying their pay as you earn. The taxes, the income taxes must be also paid. That is what we are calling job that we are creating. So we don't want to go and bring some casual laborers. 2 weeks you fire them, they go. No. We are not looking for those job creation. We are looking for sustainable jobs for these 2.2 million people who are in the system. Jobs, and we want to trace that within 3 years, these people are part of SNETs. So after the financing and everything is given, we'll be coming with NAPRA, National Pension Authority. We'll be coming around for another training for all the SA. How do you get your staff onto the pension scheme and all that? All these have been put in place to ensure that we can be able to help. And already, there's a tax holiday for those under 40. So it's all also incorporated into the program. 5-year tax holiday if you're in the 8 areas. I think the last time I mentioned them here: manufacturing, ICT, herbal medicine, renewable energy, green and ecological energy, agro-processing, all these areas. If you're under 40 and you are within that bracket, you qualify for 5-year tax holiday. These are all part of building the system strongly so that we can build a strong entrepreneurial nation. And this is the program government will be unleashing and launching it out by June this month. And by 5th of July, it will be fully operational. We are testing the portal today. The application portal has been well designed for the youth starts. The team is testing it today. We want to see how best the ecosystem can be very fluid and very productive for all of us to be able to ensure that this work. And that's why the players will be the last people who will engage to take the word out there, because the young people will be coming to you and be asking you questions. How do we apply? How do you go through the process? So please, let's all put our hands on deck. Whatever discussions you are going to have here, Ghana is ready. Let's ensure that we can help and be part of the solution that we want to provide for the entrepreneurship ecosystem, digital transformation, to be able to ensure that we help businesses to really transform. That is a major thing that we want to do. Let us do our best to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kerry. Thank you so much for enlightening us on the NEIP program. So the NEIP did it's one of the key programs in this country, and Mr. Kerry mentioned collaborators and partners. And one of the biggest partners of tech in the tech industry in this country has been GIZ, the German corporation in Ghana. And they have the Digital Transformation Center here in Kumasi, which have been working with tech startups. And I'd like to call Gideon Ofori or Sabote, who is a member of the GIZ Digital Transformation Center based here in Kumasi, to quickly brief us about the activities and the impact of their work here in Kumasi and basically an extension the country. So with a nice round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Gideon Ofori Osabote.
Thank you very much, Albert. As you can observe, I'm not in the GIZ. So I would want to put a disclaimer across. I'm actually not here in the stead of GIZ. So nothing I say is from GIZ. If anything at all, hold me responsible, okay? Thank you. So my task is to quickly go through the digital innovation ecosystem of Ghana. Of course, because I work with GIZ and specifically with the Digital Transformation Center, I can share some of my personal experiences, and that is mine, not from GIZ official perspective. So I'm glad hearing from Mr. Kekeri. He's left. He's good. Maybe we'll come to a point where we would have to talk a little bit about what he said. So if we talk about an ecosystem, generally we are talking about various players, and we are not only looking at a linear concept, we are looking at a dynamic concept. So what happens to one actor may affect another actor. So there will be several ripple effects. So everybody matters in the ecosystem. But if you're talking about innovation, then I think ultimately it is the startups that are very, very, very important or vital. Because at the end of the day, they are going to push the frontiers of digital innovation. So I'll quickly go through, I'll touch on some of the players, and then maybe say one or two things about them. I have only 5 minutes. When am I ending? So startups, so far,